Beatrice Butterfly and the Totally Fancy Resort by Sandrell. That's me. This is for big dreamers who love tiny adventures. On the corner of I-271 and Chagrin Boulevard stood a teeny tiny house on a tall pole, the kind you'd miss if you blinked. Inside lived a butterfly named Beatrice, who was not tiny in personality at all. Beatrice munched her breakfast of fruit and sipped flower juice. Then her eyes widened. "What's this?" The headlines read, "Animals and insects, come relax here." Some call it the Animal Good Times Resort. All you can eat. Unlimited food, free massages, friendly faces daily. "Count me in," she shouted. Beatrice changed her wings and vest and whooshed out the window. First stop, Batsy Watsy, the neighborhood bat. He was hanging upside down in broad daylight wearing the coolest red sunglasses. "Hey, Batsy," yelled Beatrice. "You'll never believe this. There's a resort just for us." "Do they have dark rooms?" "I burn easy," said Batsy. "They have everything. Food, drinks, massages." "Massages?" Batsy gasped. "Say no more." Off they went down the road to their new adventure. They flew in circles, then in hearts. They were so excited and looking forward to their new journey. This is such a wonderful thing. No more worries. A lifetime vacation. Next, they ran into Dirty Dog, who lived on a dirt road. And yes, he was very dirty. "Hi, Dirty," Beatrice called. "We're going to a fancy resort." "Do they have bubble baths?" barked Dirty Dog. "Endless ones," said Beatrice. Dirty's tag wagged so hard he made a dust storm. "I'm in," said Dirty Dog. As they crossed the Kinsman Bridge, they spotted Freddie the Frog, jumping up and down like a pogo stick. "Hey, Freddie, you want to come?" "Unless you're too busy jumping," barked Dirty Dog. "Do they have flies?" asked Freddie. "Probably a buffet of them," said Dirty. "I'm in," shouted Freddie. "Hop on my head," said Dirty. Freddie did not know that his little brother Luke, the little frog, was going to be riding in Dirty Dog's fur the whole time. Shh. They sang as they traveled. "We're off to the resort. It's gonna be grand with snacks for the paw and snacks for the hand." They weren't in tune at all, but it was fun. At a West Side farmer's market, they stopped for a snack. That's when they saw Hans the lobster, waving her pink mitten claws from a seafood tank. "Psst, help me. I think I'm next for dinner," she hissed. "Come with us," said Beatrice. "There's no boiling pots where we're going." Dirty Dog plopped a bucket around his neck containing tuna water. Hands climbed in, splashing tuna water everywhere. "Ew, what's that smell?" gagged Batsy. Dirty sighed. "That's my new perfume, Audi Tuna." Dirty smelled awful the entire trip. The sun went down as they trudged along. Suddenly, a huge shadow stepped into the Lorraine Carnegie Bridge. "Uh-oh," said Freddie. "Is that a gorilla?" It was Gigi, the singing gorilla, wearing sequins, holding a microphone. "We're going to a resort," shouted Beatrice. "Can I come?" "I need a vacation too," said Gigi. "Of course," said Beatrice. They were tired, smelly, and hungry. They had walked about 20 miles. Best vacation ever, said Batsy sarcastically. Wait till we get there, said Beatrice. We will have the time of our lives. No worries about a single thing. Gigi was so tired, she was seeing double. They all finally crashed behind a Caribbean restaurant on Denison Avenue in a dumpster. They ate leftover rice and veggies and fell asleep under the stars. Wake up, everyone, Beatrice cheered. We made it. Across the street stood a huge sign, the Cleveland Zoo. Woo, the resort, Batsy shouted. We are home, screamed Hans. But Gigi froze. Guys, she said quietly, this is where I escaped from. Batsy shrugged. Do they still have free food? Yep, said Gigi. Good enough for me, said Dirty Dog. Gigi ran off into the sunrise, throwing her microphone in the breeze, singing, I'm free, free as a soaring eagle in the Arizona desert. Beatrice the butterfly, Batsy the bat, Dirty the dog, Freddie the frog, and Hans the lobster waddled right in. They got food, they got baths, they even got many visitors who said, "Aw, how cute." And they lived happily ever after at the Cleveland Zoo. The moral of the story, some call it a resort, some call it a zoo, but a free meal's a free meal, and friendship's true too. Out on the west side where laughter runs free, you might spot Gigi beneath a bright tree. She waves to the butterflies, bats, and frogs, to Hans the lobster and Dirty Dog. She's happy, she's silly, she's full of delight, still walking through Cleveland from morning to night. So if you ever wonder where guardian bridges gleam and laughter floats softly like bubbles in a dream, remember this tale of the friends who all roam through Cleveland's bright corners. They've made their home. Beatrice flutters, Batsy flips high, Freddie leaps proudly towards the sky, Dirty Dog giggles, Hans waves with cheer, and Gigi keeps walking year after year. They teach us one truth, so simple, so sweet. Friendship's the magic that makes life complete. The end. Hope you enjoyed it. Sandra out.